Good afternoon. It's December 1st. I have a little video I want to make to kind of discuss this, a post that I made yesterday. Here's my kiln here. It's still warm to the touch. I opened up the kiln a couple feet and took a picture yesterday and posted on Facebook, which I've done many times in the past. But then a couple potters started made comments. One said yikes. The other one said something about how it can damage the kiln. There's so many different kinds of people out there that are gonna think so many different things when you post things on Facebook, or the things that I do differently than what they would do. I would always like to cite the success of my business over the last 16 years. I would also like to talk about what's really going on here. So we all go to, many people go to college and learn from a teacher how to do things. When it comes to art or any education you're seeking, you're taught what to do, the basics of what to do. My way of looking at that is you're learning and you go through the steps of that education, from the basics to the more advanced, and you decide what you want to do, and then you go into the real world with the tools you were given, and then you figure it out. So I grew up at a pottery. I used to open up a kiln door in my dad's shop, and smoke and fire was coming out of the kiln he bricked up. So there's bricks, raw bricks with fire coming out of them. Over the years you get a sense of what's damaging and what's not damaging. I'm 40, so I spent good 20 years of my life as a child watching my dad fire the kilns, seeing him pull bricks out that are red hot, sticking them back in. So I've been around much longer and have experienced types of kilns for a much longer period of time than I think any of the artists on Facebook that I'm friends with. It doesn't make me better, doesn't make me anything. I'm just justifying what it is I did, because when you say yikes on my page, and when you make comments on my page that suggest I could be doing something wrong, I don't want any of my friends on there to get the wrong idea, especially when it comes to my ceramic work. When you open your kiln when it's hot, it's like deciding to put a ceramic pot in your oven to cook your food with. There's a slight similarity to that. Sometimes the pot, if it's too cold on the bottom, if you have something that's really cold and you put it into a really hot oven, that pot could crack when you're cooking. You have to, there's special clays and there's special types of pots that they make for ovens. So it's the same kind of thing with your kiln. If I were to open my kiln wide open for when it's 2,200 degrees or 1,200 degrees Fahrenheit, and if I were to do that for, just leave it open, it could cause some problems. It can cause some little cracking in the lid, maybe. It can cause maybe the bricks to crack a little bit. But there's this thing called, there's trade-offs in life. You take risks. Some risks are more risky than other risks. You drive to work every day, you could get killed. You do lots of things that could be risky. Drinking alcohol. We're living in going hiking in the mountains. There are risks involved. You could fall and break your leg. You could go out hiking by yourself. You could get lost and no one can ever find you. So you have to decide what risks you're going to take and what's going to be the possible calamity from that risk. See, the problem is teachers, they have to teach everybody in high school and college. They have the people that know absolutely nothing, and then there's the people that are more advanced. And they have to teach the basics. And they have to warn you of everything. They can't tell you, oh, it's okay to open up your lid sometimes, because that could make that person who doesn't know anything think that they can open up the lid all the time, and then they end up doing something really stupid. Whereas the person like me, who's been around it my whole life, when the teacher tells me that, well, I know I can fudge it a little bit. I can break the rules a little bit, but I'll watch and see if anything's being done that could hurt the kiln. And if it is, then I stop doing that. So, I can't have a warning every time I post something on Facebook.